Good morning to you. Welcome to Shaving with Fuzzy on an fairly early Saturday morning. I'm Fuzzy. How y'all? Alright. So Saturday morning about, I don't know, 6:40-ish. I don't know. I'm going to have breakfast this morning with some friends of mine, so I'm up a little earlier than I actually normally would be on a Saturday that I'm not working, but that's okay too, no big deal. But for today's razor, we do have something fun, and I'll get to that in just a second. So let's see here. It's going to be a Stetson day, because someone had mentioned Stetson over on Toast, and I've got some VDH Select. And if my memory is correct, this is the Select, the white looking soap. Then they had the Deluxe, which was the pink looking soap, and now they've got the Luxury, which is back to a white, different thing. But this one is a favorite of mine. I wish I had a couple of pucks put away, and I just keep them. Someone had mentioned the other day my little Gladware. I had picked some of these up and put soaps in them many moons ago, and they work pretty good. And then we're going to use, since we're using Vanderhagen soap, I got a Vanderhagen brush. So there we go. Alright. More coffee to run the sinus gremlin away, huh? Well, maybe that won't work so well. Alright. So for a razor, a good gentleman over on the Shave Den had contacted me and asked me if I'd try out a razor he had and compare it to other stuff. And of course I jumped all over that. So what he sent me was this. Now as near as I can tell, and again, I'm not an expert on dating razors and all. I have the weights compendium and whatever, and have talked with some folks. But this, I'm thinking early 1900s on this one. The gem. It's got some of the more ornate scroll work on it here, there, and yonder. The top would actually open, although this one has a piece of down in it there. So I'm not going to try to open it or anything. If this piece falls out, then it doesn't stay closed tightly, and of course we don't want that. So we're going to leave that in there. And the neat thing about it is it does have the blade stops, so that we can use a modern blade in it. Now it's similar. This is an 1890-ish Camp Brothers, and you'll see it's similar in shape and everything. Now the Camp Brothers is a wedge only because it doesn't have the blade stops down front, and it's got a lot more writing on it, but it's not really as ornate as the gem is here. And the gem also has the Z on the corners here of the front for the Zinn. And I understand Zinn was an early patent holder, and I know I've always wanted a Zinn. And this looks to be a gem razor. It's still got the Z on it for the Zinn, even on the back of the I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to show it. There it is. You can see the Z on the back of the tab there that holds the blade in. So it's really interesting. Nice wood handle. I've always wanted to try one of these original wood handles too. This is the first one I've gotten my hands on. Jayara turned me a tear drop shape for these razors, and it's let me do it this way where you can kind of see. So this is the original, and this is the Jayara. So it's a really nice reproduction there. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and put that back in its home, because it won't be for today. So make sure that piece is in good back here, and it is. And then we're going to take a treat blade. This is a couple of days old, so it's in good shape. And we're going to load it by sliding it under the little springy thingies. And see if we can get it to line up with the blade stops here. And once we get it behind the blade stops, we'll bring a tab up. And it looks like it's going to hold the blade nice and tight at the blade stops. and there's no overhang to scrape you. You have to watch that with these kinds of these old razors, and especially the old leather catchers. The blade can wiggle a little bit, and then you get scratched. So we're going to make sure that piece is in good in the back there. And to me, that looks like a pretty good deal. Like it's about ready to go. The side tabs here hold it nice and tight still. It's behind the blade stops. The back tab there is hold it in place. There's no wiggle. So yeah, that looks like it's probably going to work out pretty good. So I got the pleasure of spending 8 hours yesterday in class getting stuff lined out for the new job between the what we call the safety council here, which is the OSHA training, because the plants are all Coast Guard regulated, and you have some stuff that goes in with that, but everything is of course under OSHA, and you have to know that even though I'm only in security, still got to know the OSHA rules, so that you know, if you're working safe, that's the important part. So I got to go through that wonderful class. Wonderfully dry, but anyway. And then there's a class that follows that that has to do with specific, okay, I'll get back with you in a few minutes, that has to do with specific things for the site, the plant I'm going to be working at. They call it site-specific training. So after all that, it being kind of a long day. So that's about all that happened in my world yesterday. And then I got this wonderful razor in. Also got a few things in from Sterling Soaps. And it's pretty good kind. I like their bath soaps too. So I picked up a bath soap. And I picked up a shave soap sample we're going to have to try out, baby. It's Baker Street. Now I'm thinking Baker Street, I think Sherlock Holmes. And that's not exactly what I would associate this particular scent with. Not bad, it's a good scent. But it's more of a sweeter, best I can describe it, more of a sweeter cologne scent than it is really. You know, Baker Street with Holmes and his pipe, and Watson with his cigars, and you would think it would be a heavier, earthy, tobacco leaf type, but it's not. But it's still a really nice scent, so I enjoyed it. I used the bath soap this morning. All right. So let's see what happens with this one that I'm calling a early 1900s. It's possible it's a late 1890s, but I think with it being with the blade stops and with it still having the Z on it, I think that makes it early 1900s is what I'm guessing. And someone can come along, if you know more about them than me, feel free to jump in and correct me. You're not gonna hurt my feelings. All right, yep, we're wearing glasses today. I didn't put my contacts in. Now, the first thing I can tell you is this is a very smooth shave. And I'm a little worried about that little piece coming out, so I'm going to keep checking it as we go. Like I said, this is not a brand new treat. This is like a 2 or 3 day old treat, so it's in real good shape. Love the open head designs. They're boxy, and they look, you know, quite industrial. As they moved along, they went to this is more like what we call a lather catcher, but I think we can still call this a lather catcher because it's got the deep basin and everything gets in there and whatnot. And of course, this is a Jim Jr. bar. It's got the bar that comes down, but it still had the tab in the back that held. And this one holds more like, this is a 1907-ish Ever Ready that's not in near about as good shape as this one is, but it had springs, and it's got the blade stops in the back, and it doesn't have a bar that comes across. So this top of this one is actually probably closer to this one, but nowhere near as ornate. This thing is just, look at the detail work on the back here, and then the hinge, how neat the hinge look there. And it's just really, really, really neat. And it's solid. It's not trying to wiggle around with that piece put in the back. So that's definitely very usable. The handle feels great. Very comfortable handle. And it's possible that it's actually a smoother shave than the 1890 I have. This feels a lot like just a really nice gem razor. Excellent. And it sits down nice over the open comb up here. Ooh, got a little brush hair in there. But it sits down really nice over the open comb in a good place. It's not overly aggressive, not overly mild. It's nice. Now let's get our cross the grain here and see what we come up with. Although I have a feeling I already know that it's going to feel great. I have been hunting for quite some time for one of the early, either a Zinn like this, or one of the early, like a Gem Deluxe set or something along those. The ones that had the white teardrop shape panel, the celluloid. And so far I haven't been lucky enough to catch one, but still haven't given up. So as you can tell, it's not hard keeping the angle here. It's a little bit, it's not like the 1912 models where you have the cap to guide you, but even then there's no problems at all keeping on a good angle. We can come right up under here, nice sharp angle like we normally do. It's going to be a very nice shave, I can tell you. And we can come at an angle over here. Come up under here. And we'll come across here with across the grain. I didn't reach up and grab the skin to do any stretching. Don't have a heart attack. It's all okay. It's a very nice feeling shave. Very nice. The little pieces staying in good in the back of the razor there. I like it. If you haven't got a chance to shave with one of these older razors, you're missing out. That's my thinking on it. Everyone that's really a good single edge guy should be striving to have a go with one of the old razors every once in a while. It's well worth the hunt and getting in on it. So, looky here. Nice. Nice shave. Got my sideburns all lined up. Gotta do a little trim up work around the, dress up around the goatee there. So here we go with the witch hazel. We're still planning a witch hazel only shave, by the way. I'm probably not going to use this razor to do it, although I could. I don't think the razor is going to matter a whole lot in that shave. Razors, blade. But actually what I'm probably going to use in that is my Auto Strop A1 is what I'm thinking I'm going to use. Alright, well, we'll get our touch-up done here. And then we're going to come up under the bottom like we normally do. Oh yeah. Well, that's nice for breakfast this morning. Let's see if we can get a little bit of touch-up around the goatee, because we did pretty good already. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but it does have a little bit of a blade sound. I imagine if I had a couple of days of growth, this thing would really sing. go. I like it. Appreciate you letting me borrow it, Joe. I'm not going to use his actual screen name because I'm not sure he wants the whole world to know anything, but you know, there we go. And we'll get it all dried off here, and taking the blade out shouldn't be any more complicated than it was putting it in. We'll roll that back piece out, slide the blade out, and there we go. And we'll dry it. Since we have a carbon steel blade, we'll rinse it off and we'll dry it, and it's ready to go for another day. We'll put it over out of the way. And then the razor here, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to rinse it off. We're going to dry it up so that it doesn't have any issues. So looky there. Alright, so that's the first shave with the early 1900. I'm still going to call it the early 1900 until someone corrects me. And I couldn't find one in the book that was looked exactly like this. I couldn't find it, so I don't know. But anyway, it's a wonderful razor to shave with. Another neat little thing is the case it comes in has still got the Z on the front, the Zinn. So, yeah, call it a Zinn. It's got the Z. But it was only made for the head to go in and a blade. And I'm wondering if originally maybe one of the short little metal handles would have fit inside the head as it was down in here. I don't know. I've never seen a case that didn't have somewhere to put a handle of some kind. But this case is still in good shape. Cosmetic wise, I'm being gentle with it so I don't break any, don't put any strain on it, because it is an older case. But it's very nice. The purple has faded on the inside from the water use over the years. That's to be expected. Looks like somebody actually loved this one and used it, which is always a great thing with these old razors. So I'm gonna finish getting ready and get off to breakfast. I don't know if y'all have Golden Corrals where you're from, but it's a buffet place, and they do a really nice breakfast in the mornings. And they start at 7:30 on Saturday and Sunday morning. So we're going to try to be there about 7:30 this morning and have a little fellowship and catch you up on what's been going on with the week. I don't have a whole lot of real good friends, to be honest, and these are a few of my best. So we're going to go see what's going on in the world. So y'all have a good day. Hope you enjoyed the shave here with the old Jim. I certainly did. I'll get a couple more shaves with it. And I'll get a side-by-side shave maybe with one of the other ladder catchers, although I don't really think that's necessary. I can tell you what the shave like. But it felt a whole lot like shaving with the 1890s, with the advantage of it's made where I can use the regular blades. That was really, really nice. And then, of course, I have the 1900-ish Superior here that also had the side stops on it. It's got the back tab, but it's just not, it's more of a still more lather catcher shape instead of the boxy shape. And it shaves just as good as that one. Very comfortable shave. That's my review. I'm not good at reviewing razors. I mostly just stand here and shave and yak. Flap my jaws. Pretty good at that. But y'all have a good day. I'm going to go out and do my thing. Y'all go out and do y'all's things, and we'll holler at you later. Happy shaves.